Hey everyone, this week we're talking about what makes a great photographer. Okay, so I know I've already made quite a few woodland photography videos already in 2025, but today is going to be another one. There is forecast to be some great foggy conditions at Padley Gorge today, which is where I am, and I couldn't pass upon that opportunity. But we're also talking about what it takes to make a great photographer. So I'm an average photographer, but I think on my day I can get some pretty good images. But you know, there are those people who just consistently put out great work and they're winning awards, and yeah, we're going to explore the question of what it takes to be a great photographer and maybe some of the steps that you can take to try and become one. So when the sun comes up, I'm going to head out, get some woodland photography shots. If the conditions are as good as they're supposed to be, then I probably won't do any talking today. I'll wait till I get home, and when you watch the video you'll see the footage and the images, and I'll overlay my thoughts on trying to become a great photographer over the top of that. So yeah, we'll just wait for the sun to come up and see what shots we can get. So firstly, this video isn't about what makes a great photograph. Photography is extremely prevalent these days, and almost everyone has a camera in their pockets at nearly all times. And also with computer software and AI technology, you can fix and enhance images with very little input from the creator. So with so many images being produced, some of them through sheer statistics are going to be great photos, but they've not necessarily been captured by a great photographer. As you can see, it's not particularly foggy around where the trees are and things like that, so that was a little bit disappointing, but not to worry, I'm still out getting images, and that's the main thing. So this is going to be about the qualities required in order to be regarded as a great photographer. And you may be surprised by what I think the answer to that question is, so stick around to the end to hear my thoughts on that. So understanding how a camera works, the exposure triangle, what different lenses and focal lengths do, etc. is all very important. And mastering these things can certainly go a long way to producing great images. But we can't say that technical knowledge alone is enough to be a great photographer. There are examples of well-known photographers using mobile phones, White House photographer Peter Souza, Amateur Photographer of the Year award winner Zhe Lin. And although they almost certainly understand all the principles of how to work a camera, it does go to show that understanding the technical stuff by itself is not the only quality required to be a great photographer. You can see these fantastic trees here. These make excellent subjects. It would be even better with the fog, but just by themselves they're really fantastic. So you can see here I've swapped to the 70 to 200mm 2.8 lens, just so I can really crop in. That really helps to cut out all of that complication and complexity. And you can make some really nice compositions when you get in tight. I've gone portrait for this one as well, I think it worked well. We've got those rocks at the bottom that kind of anchor the shot, looking past over the rocks, with that nice subject, the tree in the centre there. So just as I was getting to the top of here, notice that tree on the left, and it's very green and mossy, but at the same time it still had some leaves on there, some orange leaves, and against the background which looked quite blue, I just thought it was some really nice colours, so I wanted to really focus in on that tree and get all those colours, the greens, the oranges and the blue background. Understanding composition artistic aesthetics, how to communicate a story are all really important. But again, someone could take a snapshot and accidentally create a fantastic composition. And while we're on the subject of snapshots, because I think that's a big thing that comes up when we're talking about what makes a great photographer or a great photograph, you know, the difference between a snapshot and a carefully considered image. And I think there are examples of famous photographers such as Nan Goldin and William Eggleston who've created images that could be regarded as snapshots. And many people would regard those photographers as great photographers, I think. So simply being able to capture an image that's not a snapshot can't, again, by itself be what makes a great photographer. So I'm just moving back here now because I want to get a slightly wider shot of the rocks either side framing that tree. So I'm swapping back to the 24 to 70mm just so I can get that wide shot. The thing on the right that I'm holding there is not a shutter release, it's actually just a handle, like a wrist strap. But I'm holding it just so it doesn't wobble around and create any vibration. Do you have to be doing photography in a professional capacity to be a great photographer? So I think you have to be able to produce work of a certain standard or you're not going to get very much work. And I'm not a professional photographer, so I don't want to speak too much on it, but I know from working as a graphic designer that doing something as your profession doesn't always mean you're the ultimate best at it. Everyone's striving for that, obviously, but being a professional mainly means that you can carry out the job in a way and to a standard that makes money. And often it's about being efficient, understanding business and all kinds of other things that go into it being a profession. So what about fame and getting your work out there, creating a brand and simply getting your images seen? I think that can definitely help. I mean, we're all faking it until we make it in some sense. So is being a great photographer as simple as being known as a great photographer by enough people? Again, I don't think so, because if you look at someone like Vivian Mayer, if you don't know her, definitely go look her up. There's a great documentary, I think, on one of the streaming channels. Really good. And yeah, basically no one saw her work until years after her death. And she was an amazingly prolific and really good photographer, I think. Street photography mainly. So I think that disproves the fact that you need to have your work seen and you need to be famous and have a brand to be a great photographer. So what actually makes a great photographer? I think it's certainly all the things that we've already talked about. And those things will help you to go out, know what you want to create in your head, actually capture it and make it an image that people want to look at. But crucially, and perhaps the most important thing that makes a great photographer for me, it's being consistent. Because you can't be a great photographer if you just create one great image, or even a handful of great images. I think the truly great photographers are consistently putting out fantastic images, and often prolifically. And I think that great photographers also really reflect on their work. They're not satisfied with just being a great photographer, they're always continually trying to become better. And finally, it's also worth mentioning that great is subjective. What I think is a great photographer might differ from what you think is a great photographer, and so I'm really interested to know what you think as well, so please leave some comments down below. But that's about it for this video, so a huge thank you for watching. If you have liked the video, please just give me a thumbs up down below. If you're a regular, massive thanks for watching, as always. But if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed and you'd like to do so, just click down there on the big red button, or over here on this little picture of me. That way you'll stay up to date with everything I'm doing. Each and every week, there are new videos, Sunday mornings at 10 AM UK time. So I hope you'll join me for the next one. But until then, thanks a lot everyone, and bye for now.